Hey everybody, it's Caleb Curry with Caleb Curry Reports and Predicts. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and we're going to go over the U.S. Senate map. For 2020, we're less than 2 weeks out, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Just a quick update. Yesterday, as I'm recording this, my presidential video should be up, so you guys can check out my presidential map. We're less than 2 weeks, so I'm going to do this, and then on the Monday before the election, I'll try to have the presidential out the Monday before, and either on Tuesday or on Sunday, I'll have out my Senate predictions. So, and as you can see now, this is the map I had last time I did it, and we're just going to go through these states and check this out. We're going to start in Arizona. As you can see, all these recent polls. There was a poll that showed it a little closer, but most polls show Mark Kelly up by around 10 points. Some only by 5. But so I think Arizona is going to stay Democrat. And then we go over to Colorado, which is not really. I mean, Hickenlooper's up by about 8 or 9 points. So I think Colorado will stay Democrat. And then we'll go over to, I'm trying to do this map-wise instead of alphabetically. So let's go to Texas. That should be a good one there. As we see, Cornyn is up in most of these polls, but, anywhere between 8 points. Some only have him up by 3, but I think he's definitely going to win. So Texas will stay red as I have it here. We'll go up before we get over to the Iowa, Minnesota. We'll go to Kansas. There has been some closer polls coming out of Kansas. But as you can see, some are even showing the Democrat up by some. I still think the Republicans will hold on to Kansas because the president has such a good advantage there, and they would have nominated by nominating Marshall. I think that really helped them. If they would have nominated Chris Kobach, who lost the governor's race, they may have lost Kansas. But right now it's good. We'll go up to Iowa. As we can see, the Democrats up by about 5 points there, 3 points. It's super close in Iowa. 538 has it ranked as super close. The president is barely ahead in Iowa. So I think Joni Ernst will hold in Iowa because I think the president will win Iowa. Then we'll go up to, I think, a race that has shifted. I originally did think the Republicans would pick up Minnesota, but I actually don't believe that. You see the latest poll has Smith. It's about 8 points, 4 points. But then Trump is down by a lot more in Minnesota, so that may hurt Lewis, the Republican nominee, by some. So I actually am saying right now I think the Democrats will keep Minnesota. And then we'll go over to Michigan, which has also been pretty close, where Peters is up by 5. I think right now there's even a poll that shows James up by 1 recently. I really think that right now Peters is going to win, but I think that Michigan may change. So this is just really my feeling right now. I'll have another poll for, another one for Election Day, but then we'll go up to Maine and let's see. We'll go over to Maine and then come down the East Coast there. We see Gideon continues to be up by 7, but there were some polls she's up by 1, 5, 4. I think right now I will give Maine to the Democrats. They will probably pick it up. But, Susan Collins has been keeping it pretty competitive, so it's really hard to tell. But I do think right now the Democrats will pick up Maine. Now we go to North Carolina. This is another shift I have. You see Cunningham's up in some of these polls 1, 2, 3, 6 points. There's one of him up by 1 point, 4 points. I actually think the president will pick up North Carolina, and I actually think that Thom Tillis will maintain because Cunningham does have a scandal where he cheated on his wife. It's a pretty open affair. So I think that really helps the Republicans there, and in maintaining North Carolina, I think that really shifted the polls there. And then we will go down to Georgia to round it all out. If we go over here, we go to Georgia. Pick up Georgia here. Where you're seeing the Warnock, that's the special election. Now that will not be held. That will be held in January. But I do still think that you'll have two Democrats a Republican and a Democrat come through, which was kind of a change from earlier. If you look here, and then this one has the Senate race tied. But I think the president's going up winning, and I think David Perdue will win the regular election. I actually do think the Republicans will win the special too. So right now I'm predicting a 51-49 Senate, but that could change. Iowa's going to be close. Maine, Minnesota, Michigan. I mean, if the Republicans picked up Minnesota, Michigan, and retained Maine, I mean that would put them up to 55 seats, and actually I think would increase their majority a little bit or keep it the same. So on the flip side, if the Democrats picked up some of these places like Kansas and Montana, we didn't go over Montana. I almost forgot Montana and Alaska. Those are two. We want to cover those really quick because we have been seeing some close polls out of Alaska. Some have the Democrat up by 1. Some have the Republican up by several. I think it's a Republican incumbent, so I think that they will win there. But there's another close one. And Montana is really close between Steve Bullock and Steve Daines. And you got to remember, Bullock was a very popular governor, but I really think that the Republicans will end up picking up Montana or keeping Montana. So that's how I have this map right now, 51-49. So if you guys have any further questions, drop it in the comment box. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Just a little update. I'm going to be covering some European news coming up, some European elections, and then we'll also have our regular American election coverage as well. So thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a great day. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you. Bye.